Good evening. This presentation provides an overview of the District School Performance Framework, version 1. It includes a summary of campus results after applying version 1 metrics to 3 years of data. The board will also be updated on the vision, purpose, and planning currently underway in developing version 2.
This endeavor is a collaboration between the Office of School Leadership, Academics, and Research and Evaluation. Once reimagined and deployed, the SAISD community will see the district's school performance framework as a statement of our values that will lead us on a transformative journey toward unparalleled success for students and schools.
There are 5 main components to the presentation. What is an SPF? Development of SPF version 1. Historical campus performance. Development of SPF version 2. And next steps.
The School Performance Framework provides a more complete picture of school performance than the state's accountability system and allows us to highlight our values and deploy resources to improve student achievement. SAISD's SPF seeks to increase the number of thriving schools by driving district decision-making, empowering schools, and equitably distributing resources and support.
The development of SPF version 1 included over 2,000 parents and staff telling us what they believed are the qualities of a great school. For example, a great school is one that helps students excel academically, prepares students for college and career, has a safe environment and positive campus culture, involves parents, engages students, and builds teacher capacity. Along with these conversations were discussions on how these qualities can be measured. For example, helping students excel academically can be measured utilizing the state accountability ratings and MAP scores for those grade levels that do not take the STAR test. Ensuring a safe environment and a positive campus culture can be measured utilizing student and parent surveys. Building teacher capacity can be measured using staff surveys. Many measures were discussed, and a few measures were decided upon, which we will discuss next. Since several of our campuses had different grade configurations, it was necessary to develop a different set of metrics for each campus grade configuration. An SPF framework was created for elementary, middle, high schools, and academies. Within each framework, metrics were grouped into categories called domains. These categories included state accountability, student achievement, college, career, and military readiness for high schools, student growth, school environment, and a poverty index was used as bonus points. The metrics of an SPF are those measurable outcomes that earn campuses points and are totaled to provide an overall SPF score and rating. The state accountability domain was worth 50% of the overall SPF score. The metric used for this domain was the campus's numerical value of their state accountability letter grade. For example, a campus would earn more points for achieving a state letter grade of A compared to a campus that earned a C rating. Student achievement was worth 15% and was included for elementary, middle, and academies only. In this domain, a campus could earn points for the percent of students on grade level as measured by the following: MAP reading and math end-of-year assessments for grades K through 2, STAR reading for grade 3, STAR Spanish reading for grades 3 through 5, STAR math for grade 8, and EOC Algebra 1 and English 1 for advanced students in grade 8. College, career, and military readiness, CCMR, was worth 20% for high school students. The metrics included in this domain were the following: percent on grade level for Algebra 1, Biology, English 1 and English 2, US and US History end of course exams, percent of 9th grade students on track to graduate, and campus improvement in the percent of college-ready students. Student growth was worth 15% of the campus overall SPF score. The metrics included the percent of students meeting growth expectations on MAP, the percent making progress on TELPAS, and the school's STAR value-added measure, which is currently being used at the teacher level for the state's teacher incentive allotment. The final domain is school environment. It was worth 20% for elementary, middle schools, and academies, and 15% for high schools. Campuses earned points in this domain based on the following metrics: the percent of students in attendance for 90% of their days enrolled, the percent of students that re-enrolled from the previous year, and the percent of positive responses from the student, teacher, and family surveys. After all metrics were calculated and points were assigned to each campus, additional bonus points were given to campuses based on their intensity of poverty. Version 1 of the SPF assigned a performance band to campuses by domain and overall based on the percentage of possible points earned. For example, in order for a campus to be labeled distinguished, they must have earned at least 80% of all possible points. A focus campus earned less than 20% of possible points, etc. For the past 3 years, when the STAR test was administered, the current SPF performance bands mostly mirrored the state accountability ratings. The only exception was the 2021-22 school year. This will be further explained on the next slide. In order to better understand the SPF results, let's consider campuses that fell within the distinguished and accomplished performance bands as on track, those falling within the category of rising as needing some level of adjustment, and those falling in the developing and focus bands as requiring significant intervention and support. In 2022, 67% of SAISD campuses that also received an SPF rating were on track for the state accountability domain because they received an A or B letter grade. Now recall that these A or B letter grades were largely due to student growth. While only 11% of campuses required intervention in 2022 for the state accountability domain, 40% required intervention for student achievement, and 46% required intervention based on the metrics used in the school environment domain. What this demonstrated was that in order for SAISD to provide the quality schools our families deserved, more was needed beyond state accountability.
After reviewing the data and lack of integration into the school improvement planning process, the original SPF design needed revision. We will now present SPF version 2. The School Performance Framework version 2 is aspirational. We want the SPF to inspire our staff and improve outcomes for students and families. San Antonio ISD's School Performance Framework is the tool that guides our path towards excellence and empowers our community to define true success in alignment with our shared values. It not only guides educators, but also propels them on a journey towards transforming all of our schools into places of academic excellence, ensuring the success of every student. We will spend the next several months revising the School Performance Framework and will introduce a draft to principals this summer and finalize metric calculations in the fall.
Now let's look at the sequence of events that will provide the board with an update on SPF version 2. We begin this month with this update on vision and purpose. In August of 2024, an update will be provided on the new performance metrics. In November of 2024, an update on the rollout will be provided to include official 2024 results. In April of 2025, an update on the integration with school improvement planning cycles will be provided to the board. While the previous SPF demonstrated to us that more was needed beyond the state's accountability system, it also demonstrated that changes to the SPF were warranted. The following changes are under consideration. Decrease the weight of the state's accountability system. Review and modify measures that mirror state accountability. Review and modify measures to include student and community engagement. Include an indicator for a fully developed and well-attended campus advisory committee. Add an annual student growth measure for the following indicators. Students currently on grade level who stay on grade level. This would be our keep-up measure. Students below grade level who make enough growth to close the achievement gap in 3 years, if not sooner. This would be our catch-up measure. And overall, align the SPF to reflect the district's vision, values, goals, and guardrails.
School Performance Framework version 2, leading a transformative journey
Towards unparalleled success for students and schools.